Ooh, see, she's getting angry. He's a nerd. Nerd alert. Oh, okay. So, I thought of a segment that we can do, but like obviously not all the time. I think it kind of flows. Drunk jargon.
Drunk jargon.
So like, we just get.
Hey, you said that to me earlier. That's what made you think of it.
That's what popped in my head. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
That's a possible segment every now and then. Like,
what, you guys are gonna get drunk and
just
talk
about whatever. Yeah. And it'll
we
be
didn't have an
drunk
episode
jargon.
for that planned, and then we went to hiatus, so that was on our...
Can I be part of that podcast? Can I postpone? No, I'm just kidding.
Drunk jargon right now.
Let's go. Drunk jargon about college.
Not now. It's like 2 in the afternoon.
So?
And?
Start early. Day drink. It's a Saturday, bro. What do you gotta do?
Well, I actually really want some mimosas still.
Let's
like,
go.
I was trying to...
Hey, mimosas. Nobody's gonna high-five me.
I was trying to brunch today, but nobody was available.
I went to brunch today. I went to Miss Shirley's.
Even though I asked you like a week ago.
I went with my professor. I don't think he would have been invited. He's like 80. What? I swear I really went with him. I'll show you the messages.
No, I believe you. Oh wait, is this the one who's...
Is it because I'm a nerd?
No, is this the professor who's trying to bang you, or was that a different one?
I never had a professor who was trying to bang me.
Yes, you did.
When?
You denied it, but I know you did.
What?
You told me, professor, I'm like, he wants to bang you. You're like, no, he doesn't. I'm like, he's 80 years old. He's trying to smash.
Well, are you sure this is me and not someone? It was probably me and I'm Dorian.
Nobody else gets meals with their professor. Actually, I got coffee with mine once, but that's a different story.
Did they want to bang you?
He was married to a woman, so no.
Oh, well, you don't know.
Like that means anything.
That doesn't... Marriage and children don't mean anything.
I had 2 of my professors come to my comedy show.
Yeah, that's not getting brunch with them, Tim. Oh, wait, that's awesome. That's so supportive.
So delayed.
Well, I know my grievance.
Alright, Sqwadcast, episode 37.
38.
It's for sure not 38.
No, it's 30. Yeah, 37. Because 36 was corrupted, so that never actually
I
happened.
thought 35 was corrupted.
No, 35 was the dating episode.
Yes, true. I always forget that. I don't know why. Yes. Okay.
We have me, as always. Anchovio is
As
here.
always.
Yep, as
I
always.
mean, at this point, it's
Keeping that streak going. And a third person?
Am I the third person?
Well,
or is there somebody else here?
You're in the
it's
cold
like
open.
10 of you, so it's really 10 more people.
Oh, that's true. I do have multiple personalities sometimes. So.
All the time.
What do you mean?
Is that clear means Dory?
Well, whatever. That's one of my personalities, so you're not wrong.
I think that's the main one.
So, new squad member, Suzie / Dory / whatever name happens. We all have nicknames.
Happens to I get called.
We are talking about college today.
Woo!
Eventually.
Woo!
Cake stand, bro.
I never did one of those.
That's not shocking.
Wait,
really?
Is that shocking? You have, obviously.
Oh my god, that's so big.
We don't even need to talk to him about college. We could literally just predict his whole life.
Yo, I feel like we're gonna have
from birth until
I feel
now.
like we're gonna have very different college experiences.
I'm gonna have the least exciting one, for sure. I don't know why I'm raising my hand. I feel like I'm in school.
Because he's a teacher.
So am I.
No, but like he's a teacher though.
So am I. Fuck you.
No, but like Tim's a teacher.
So am I.
What do you teach?
Toddlers.
No. What specifically do you teach them though?
I teach them their numbers and their shapes and their colors, and I teach them how to do things for themselves, like dress themselves and feed themselves and clean themselves. And basically, I raise them.
So you're a nanny.
Shut up, I hate you.
I'm just trying to...
I'm just saying my degree has education on it.
All right.
like Tim is
wow.
he's a legit teacher for our youth.
I know. I'm...
Well,
You
she's
changed-
the tiny youth.
She changed diapers. You. One episode, I'm gonna come in just wear my kimono.
Oh god.
It should be a new girl themed episode, and you should be
So,
the
fun
personality
fact,
of Schmidt.
I told him and Calvin about it because somebody said, like, use. I was like, oh, speaking of use, I have a kimono. They knew exactly what I was talking about. That's friendship right
the dating
there.
episode.
Huh?
I think that was the dating episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Because Calvin hasn't been on here.
Yeah.
But yeah. They just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, Schmitty.
Segue.
We built
The
this
Schmitty
Schmitty on
Tootsie
Tootsie
Rolls.
Rolls.
Love it. Oh
Alright.
god,
Off
guys!
to-
I have a new girl board game. We should play it sometime.
Off to a hot start.
Yep, as always.
Oh my bad.
No,
At the end of
this happens
flow.
so often.
Literally all the time. I think the dating episode, and I think the one our secret episode that got corrupted. We both didn't get to this topic until like past half an hour.
The one where it got corrupted, I don't think we got to it at all. Like,
No,
we
didn't.
tried.
We like referenced it.
Like, so back to fashion, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
We just kept going on and on about God knows what. It was fun, though.
Hopefully it'll see the light of day one day. Maybe. If the Sqwadcast gods are on our side.
Don't worry, Tim. I'm on our side.
Speaking of things being on your side, I feel like I gave myself some pretty good karma today. I was on my way to the brunch. It was early for once. And there was this woman and her husband walking, and all of a sudden the woman just like started to slowly go to the ground. And at first I thought they're like looking for something, and then she just sat there and was like holding her head, and I'm like, something is wrong with this woman. So I like went over and talked to them and helped her to her car. Like, I stayed with her while her husband went and got the car.
Nobody called 911. That's an
I kept asking, like, do you want me to get you something? Should I call an ambulance? And the husband's like, no, my car is right there. I'll just take her to the hospital.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
like, are you sure you don't want me to call an ambulance? And they're like, no. I'm like, well,
Okay, good gal, Susie.
do you want me to
Right.
take you somewhere? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So I sat there and rubbed her arm. It's like, it's going to be okay.
So you walked up to a random old woman and caressed her. Lovely.
Yes.
Lovely.
Exactly. My normal life.
Snapchat.
Give it to us, Tim.
As always, we have to start with the grievances. The world will explode if we do not start with the grievances.
No, like, that's a little fact. Like, we
Yeah.
almost didn't do it once, and I'm okay to interrupt it. So,
Yep.
hey.
That's
That
what
legit
happens,
happened.
yeah.
Snapchat. What was that even? First of all, I do have to give credit for two of my streaks matching up absolutely perfectly. I
For what?
I
What
had a
match?
streak of
Oh.
420 and 69 at the same time.
That's so
Nice.
great.
Yeah, nice. That was amazing. So yes,
Hilarious.
Snapchat is good in some regards. I've been having a problem. I don't know if it's my phone or Snapchat in general. I like to think it's Snapchat in general because they're evil. I will either open the app and it won't load. Like, someone will Snapchat me and I'll hit it and I'll unlock my phone and it won't load in time. Or I'll go to flip the camera and I'll hit my phone twice to flip it to the other camera and it'll freeze. And it happens more often than it should.
Yes. It does happen to me quite often.
And I just like...
I thought it was like just my phone, but it's you too. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It
good.
doesn't happen to me that much, but it happens occasionally.
Okay, so it's not my phone. It's Snapchat being a bunch of a-holes.
Ooh.
Aggressive.
It
Thoughty.
just happens like more often than I'm like I'm trying to switch the camera and then I have to like close the app and
Oh,
open it up
so
again.
irritating.
I want to say mine happens like 1 in 15, which is still a lot. Like, that's way too much.
Yeah, when you're Snapchatting a lot,
Yeah.
that 1 in 15 will catch up.
I don't even Snapchat. People send me Snapchats and it takes me like a week to open.
Well, you're the worst kind of person.
I
Yeah.
am, basically.
Well, one of my friends, she won't respond, but then she'll respond to like everything I send her. Like,
Yeah, so if
and I'm
somebody
just
sends me
I
like
don't
a
need
chat,
4 Snapchats in a row,
Ooh.
answering to each different thing I sent you.
I do that. That's me.
I just thought of another grievance, which happened to me this past week, actually. But I'll let you finish first. Obviously, I'm not gonna
I mean,
cut
that
you
was my Snapchat for you.
Oh.
so.
So, do you have an actual one, or?
Yes,
So
I
what's
come
your-
prepared.
So, what's your
usually.
actual?
My actual grievance is merging. Just
Merging?
Yes.
Merging what?
On the
Cars?
road. On
Oh,
the
okay,
roads.
thank you. Like,
I was like, merging. Company
I'm
merging?
like, oh,
Yeah.
another podcast? Like,
No.
what's happening here, Tim?
We are merging with another podcast.
My bad.
That was on purpose.
We are, I don't know what's a famous podcast. Joe Rogan's.
Pardon my take.
We can with them.
God, I would be so happy.
No, we are merging just because I have to take the highway to work
People can't do it.
every day.
People
That
suck.
too. And people ride the merge lane until the very end
Yeah.
and then try to
Oh,
squeeze
yeah.
in. I'm like, no, get
Pieces
in
of
when you
shit.
can. And like, and sometimes they even give you space. I'm like, I see you coming, I can't get over it, so I slow down a little bit to give you like 2 or 3 car lengths to get in,
Mhm.
and then you still ride, and then I have to keep going because I can't just stop on the highway, and then you have to squeeze in because you ran out of room.
I don't like when you're merging and you're trying to get over and nobody's letting you over. I hate that.
Well, I gotta start Bogarting.
What?
I don't know what that is.
Bogarting?
He's speaking another
Like-
language.
Humphrey Bogart?
No, you just force your way in.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Never heard that
14.
term.
Really? Oh.
Just never heard of Bogarting.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, like, it's the worst. And, like, I'm at the point where I'm, like, super reckless. I just don't care anymore. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if you try and speed past, I'm going to speed up, and you're not going to get past me. You better get behind me, or you're
Sometimes-
going to hit my car, bitch.
Sometimes
And I'm
I
gonna get
used to be afraid to like be in the car with Tony. Only sometimes. Most of the time I was drunk, so I don't know.
I don't even know.
There was one time I was.
Yes, I have.
It was a joke. Jesus Christ.
I think.
Keep up.
Wait, maybe I really have.
No, you have.
I
you
have.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, that's a drink.
I know. It's like a
It's
Reese's.
like a
and
peanut
drink.
butter or something. Anyways,
It's a peanut butter
Sorry.
chocolate porter. Like, one is really good, but after that, it gets disgusting. But I do call, actually. So, right here.
Oh.
Where we live.
In
This area.
undisclosed location.
It's funny that, like, we say that every episode, but then, like, Ryan just naming that place after place.
Right.
It's just like, oh, okay, well, like, we're gonna hunt it down.
could just,
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying in our pre-production meeting, that the people that listen know where we are. Like, we haven't reached
Oh,
that.
Tim, this is for when we blow up real big,
Yes.
and people just go back and like, I need more. Like, let's listen to the original.
Oh, these are
stuff
good
before they got
episodes.
big. Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, I was driving one time, and with my friend who's very energetic. He's very, what's the word?
Hyper.
A little bit of hyper.
aggressive.
Not so much aggressive. He just. What's?
Look at
he-
Tony's face.
Yeah. But he has a lot of energy, and we were driving, and a guy was trying to come in, but he did that where you ride the shoulder all the way in. And
Oh, if
The
you.
shoulder.
If
That's
you,
even worse.
If I see you coming behind me, I will literally pull into part of the shoulder so you can.
So
not
you
get
can't
it.
pass.
You are. That's such a dick move.
Yeah.
To draw on the shoulder.
Makes me
Nah,
so
fam.
mad.
But
Like,
later
Nah,
I
I'm getting hot just like.
yeah. Literally, we were driving, and he was just like, no, it's not happening, no. And he
Oh, no.
like kept in front of him the entire time. He's like, this isn't gonna happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you can honk. That's fine, cause you're not going to get out your car. Like,
Yeah.
so stop.
Unless you're my brother, and then you will.
Well, if you get out the car because you're being an
Oh
asshole,
no, not
let's go
not
with
in
it.
those situations.
Oh no, yeah.
When somebody else was being an asshole to him, he like.
I'll hop off the car.
This
real
happened
quick.
like last weekend. He was dropping me off in Fed Hill, and somebody was being a straight up dick. And he got out and was like, "What the fuck do you want me to do? There are cars in front of me. Stop beeping your horn."
Yeah.
But he was way more angry.
But yeah, and like I had another occasion when I was driving the other day, and a guy tried to get in front of me. He saw I was behind a truck, like a good distance, but behind the truck, and the truck slowed down a little bit because they were getting into the right lane, right? And I sped up a little bit to pass the truck because I don't like driving behind trucks in general. Yeah. But then this guy, he saw the truck moving and didn't see me behind the truck and tried to get over. And I'm just like, bro, like,
Do you not see Junior here?
yeah. Do you not recognize black cars? Car races.
She is racist. Unless he doesn't see color, then it's fine. I hate
But-
those assholes.
Isn't black the absence
Yeah, I was
of
gonna
color?
say he would be able to see
So if
black,
he
right?
can't see color, then
Okay. Anyways.
No,
Point is, he hates Junior.
black is the absence of light.
Wait, is Junior the name of your car?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so slow. I just got that.
We were talking for like 2 minutes.
I know. I didn't really sleep very well, so I'm going to use that as my excuse
But like
for anything stupid that I say
but
today.
this is you just waiting for
Yeah,
nothing,
but
though.
nobody else needs to know that. So you could have not said that and nobody would have known.
Oopsies.
Fuck you.
So my grievance.
Yes.
I feel like you touched on it a few episodes ago.
Oh.
But so like I don't mind like messaging through Snapchat, but if it's
Yeah.
exclusively through Snapchat, it's the worst.
Yeah.
And then I had this person,
No.
right?
A person.
I like they snapped me a picture. I like texted my response like in the no sorry, that's backwards. They snapped me.
Yeah.
I snapped them back,
Okay.
and then I like texted them something completely different.
Yeah.
And then they responded to me through Snapchat.
Was this me?
To the text.
To the text!
Wait.
I sent them a text message.
I have a
So you
completely-
snapped, and then you texted them something unrelated. Okay, I thought that you went.
Oh, no.
Wait.
No. I sent them a text message
Yeah.
unrelated to the Snapchat, and they responded to my text message through Snapchat.
I have a completely
What?
serious question. Are you talking about me?
No.
I feel like I do that to you a lot, though.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
I do it to other people, maybe.
No, like that's the, like why are you responding to different medium? That's so
Yeah.
unbelievably stupid.
You know, this is like the thing, those people that use Facebook as their primary messaging.
Yeah,
app.
those
people
weirdos-
suck. What
Yeah,
the hell?
they do suck.
I had a coworker over the summer, and he would literally he would try to message me through every medium that like imaginable, and I'm just like, if it's work related, just like text me or call me, and then he'd send me stuff over Facebook, and I'm just like, I hate Facebook Messenger in general, and I was like, you have my number, like,
If you have my number,
yeah,
text me.
I feel personally threatened.
Only call me if you like. Let me know ahead of time. You know, like I don't, because I don't like talking on the phone. But if I have to, I will. So like, don't just randomly call me. Like, be like, "Hey, is it okay if I call you?" I'll be like, "Woo, why?" I need to screen your
Why?
call. Okay, the only exception is if it's past like 11 at night, because then in my mind you're drunk and you need like a ride home. So then past 11 p.m., go ahead, call me. If it's for that reason only.
So many rules. Maybe I need to find a new friend.
Okay.
You have too many rules for communication.
Okay, look, unless you're drunk and in need of help or something serious, don't call without asking me first. I don't like talking on the phone. Like I will, like I'm that person who like I will see you calling, wait till it's done, and be like, hey.
Friends, I don't have that many
just text you
rules.
like, hey, why'd you call me? Is it serious? Okay, cool. Call me right back, or I'll call you. It's fine.
yeah.
I go in that diatribe and just like, yeah.
It's and just the way people communicate nowadays. We might actually would always ask before she called though.
And that's all I.
Yeah.
I
If you
don't
ask
like
me,
to.
I am more likely to pick up.
I never ask people before they call them. Before I call them, I'm like, I'm tired of texting you. I'm gonna just call you.
And it's even worse when it's a FaceTime.
Oh,
What?
Yeah. Like, why are you
want to
FaceTiming
FaceTime
right
me
now?
without even asking me? Like, what if I'm fresh out the shower?
That's why they're FaceTiming you.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
You never to see this, buddy. Trust me. It's a mess under here.
grievance.
I guess my grievance is playing phone tag.
Do tell.
I hate when that happens. Like,
Yes, please elaborate.
this happens to me all the time with one specific person and then also my mom. And it's the most irritating thing. First of all, with your parents, it's like, I should be your whole life, so you should just answer all the time. Which, obviously, they have their own lives, so that's not realistic, but it's still...
No. But, like, phone tag
valid
with your
point.
parents is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because you can call them 1,000 times and it's fine. You missed one call from them.
Exactly, and they're like,
you're
are you
out.
dying?
It's like,
Oh, God.
And they smell like, I am your mother. I gave birth to you. Why don't you pick up? I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, yeah, you gave birth to me. I'm your child. Pick up when I call you. Oh, no. Oh, at the
I was
supermarket talking
busy.
to Bob. What? No.
Oh, that happened to me literally last night. I texted my mom that I was going to see, like, an apartment or, like, a room. And I I literally texted her and told her what I was doing. And then she called me and I didn't answer. And she called me like 6 times. And I didn't see it till I left.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother messaged me like, you need to call Mom. She thinks you're dead. I'm like, it's literally been 20 minutes. And I told her I was busy. Like, what?
Like, I swear to myself, I will never do that to my kids. Like, I'm not going to.
You will. You're gonna do it just to pay it forward because you're gonna have so
I
much
don't want to pay that forward.
built up resentment.
No, I want to pay it back, not pay it forward. That's something you don't want to
Oh
pay
yeah,
forward.
that's what I meant. Sorry, pay it back.
So then I would.
Pay back? What? I
Yeah,
don't
so I
know.
would pay it back to my parents. I wouldn't pay it forward.
All right, whatever. Just never mind. Yeah, and then my friend, it's like she'll call me and I'll literally call her back a minute later, and she won't answer. And I'm like,
That's even more annoying.
what did you start doing in that literally like minutes that you didn't answer the phone? And then she'll call me back like maybe 10 minutes later and I miss it, and then I call her back again a minute later, and I'm like, how does this keep happening? Like, that's it. We just not meant to talk today. Like, let's try it tomorrow. Yeah, that's the most irritating thing. That's been happening to me a lot recently, so yeah.
Got some solid grievances today.
Yeah, it was what he did.
Glad I got to get that off my
It
chest.
feels good, doesn't it?
It feels great.
Like you're just talking
Yeah.
out loud.
Well,
You're talking out loud. Do you talk not out loud?
No.
You just... Okay.
Real G's moving silence like lasagna.
Moving on. Speaking of calling, that person did not ask if they could call.
It's probably a scam anyway. It was my area code and the same 3 numbers as my phone number. And
But-
usually that's a scam.
What?
I did not know that. I also did not hear what you just said.
Lowest number ever. You know what? Let's make this a guess appearance instead of a full-fledged number because I'm not getting good vibes right now.
Oh, alright. I feel that. That's fine. I feel personally victimized, but I'm okay with
You
it.
should, because I was talking directly to you. I mean, there's nobody else I'm talking to. Like, come on.
It could have been one of my other personalities. I don't know.
I'm talking to all 10 of them, yes.
Now all of them feel victimized.
Consider me your Regina George.
I don't know. Mean girls like that.
You don't know the main character.
I'm like,
But like,
literally.
but like, what are you trying to say? That you're gonna be the person that's mean to me?
Yes.
Oh, alright. Now I understand.
You know that line, raise your hand if you have been personally victimized by Regina George, and everybody raised their hand?
Oh, I understand now what you're saying.
He was the vice principal. Something like that. Okay. I am going to be your personal bully.
Okay. Thanks for breaking that down.
Give me your lunch money.
I don't have lunch money.
And give me your phone.
I don't have a phone. But yeah, that person that we always play phone tag, she literally just called me.
No.
So,
Is it A? Have I met her?
V.
We went out that one night.
Vendetta?
V.
I watched that on November 5th. Cause
November when?
5th?
Oh.
Because it's all about that.
Yep.
Guy folks.
I haven't seen anything ever, so
You
don't
know
even
about
talk
Guy
to me.
folks, though? He tried to blow up Parliament. No?
That's like a legit thing.
Yeah.
The movie made a fictional story out of it, but it was a legit thing that happened in history.
It wasn't a fictional story. He was like reenacting it like years later.
Oh, that's one. I only saw the movie once.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, like it takes place in like 2027, and it's like this vigilante who's like embodying him, and he's like, I'm gonna do what he failed to do, yada yada yada.
Sounds interesting.
Played by, what's his name? Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving, aka Smith,
And,
somebody from Lord of the Rings.
yeah, he was also in Lord of the Rings. And another big movie character, person.
Oh, Red Skull.
Yep.
No,
No, he was. He was Red Skull.
you just kept saying yep. So I just kept. I said no, just to counteract you.
He's fired.
Bitch.
Coming at the host.
Can I
I
take-
have
Can I
tenure.
Can I take his place?
I have tenure, bro.
Tenure.
Okay, come on.
And who are you?
Dory. I thought we talked about this. Do we
I mean-
not? Do
I
we not
mean-
introduce each other?
I mean, who are you to kick me out?
Who am I today?
You have no. You. Oh, I really wanna. Oh, why do you want to know? CSI theme song.
Oh, man.
The OG CSI.
Yeah, and I like that. Miami. I didn't like Cyber.
Whoa, that deer is so close to us right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get distracted easily. I'm literally, the name Dory fits me. I'm, like, if I could see this necklace, I'd probably be distracted by it.
She says as she looks directly down at the necklace.
Yeah, alright. Anyways, what were you saying? I don't know.
Well, main topic time since we're at 27 minutes already.
Main topic time.
College, just college experiences, stories, fun things. We're gonna attempt to start from freshman / your first year of college and go all the way through chronologically, maybe. I don't know.
Most of us here will keep it chronologically. One of us will not. We'll let you
It's
figure
me.
out which one that is.
Oh, I was supposed to let them figure that out. They already knew!
That's the joke. Wow. You come on, like, you get your wit up. Come
I need
on now.
some-
Get your wit up.
I need some coffee or something.
Wit juice.
Yeah, because
Quit.
I
Quit.
Say
didn't-
cool, cool. Say whip,
Whip. Whip. Cool whip. Cool whip. You're in here. Yo, Family Guy used to be so good.
Yeah.
And now, I didn't know they made new episodes.
Yeah.
Just add another thing.
What have you
For
seen?
Add another-
our listeners, she said she has never seen Family Guy.
No, you're not supposed to tell them.
I work with 5-year-old kids who have seen Family Guy, which is not, I'm not endorsing that by any means. Let's put things in perspective.
For those of you that want to know, I'm silently looking down in shame.
I think your shame is speaking to the audience.
Shame.
Shame, I
I
know your name.
Hey. Okay.
I was going for Game of Thrones shame walk, but that works too.
Oh, and
I've
then,
never seen Game of Thrones either.
that doesn't compare to when my girl Cersei, spoiler alert, waterboarded that bitch with wine. Shame. Shame. Oh, that's a bad bitch right there. Sorry, not Game of Thrones.
That was
College.
2 seasons ago, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a
So.
show.
Oh yeah.
That was so bad.
Yeah, that's a major spoiler, so you shouldn't say that. That was the end of season 6.
Look, it's been 2 years. If they haven't seen it
It's
by
been
now,
like 4 years because of how long they take between seasons
like,
now.
if they haven't seen that by now, that's on them. I mean, I feel like the no spoiler thing is included if you're being generous, like maybe a year. But that's a long time to not see something. Like, especially when the show's this big. Come on.
Yeah.
But, no spoilers.
No, it just Cersei did a thing, which happens in every episode.
Massive.
One time,
Brandon?
maybe, but no.
Did you go to band camp?
I did.
Oh.
We were talking about Game of Thrones, and our former editor didn't see season 7, and it was when spoiler where I can't say it without being where Peter and Bran meet. It's kind of a spoiler.
Okay.
In
Which, like, real actor name Peter or character Peter?
character Peter.
Okay, okay.
That's why I also said Bran.
Yeah.
Brown. Whatever. Peter Baelish
Yeah,
meets Bran Stark.
yes.
That happened.
Yes.
And Bran says something,
Mhm.
and it was a huge one-liner back at Peter.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I didn't say what happened. I literally didn't say Bran or anything, but it was me, our former editor, and Ryan. And I said Ryan was only season 3 at the time because he was trying to catch up.
Mhm.
And I said, or our former editor said, Peter, and I was like, oh, Peter Baelish, and I made that sound, and he's like, spoilers, man, and I'm like, Peter Baelish is the most contriving person in the series. Everything he does has that type of reaction. I didn't spoil a single thing other than the fact that he was in an episode, which he's in 99% of episodes. I was like, you can't get mad at me for acting excited when I heard his name because something happened. I didn't say who it was with. I didn't say what was said. I didn't even say where it was said or what episode. I just said Peter, and I was like, oh man, Peter.
Dirty bitch.
Yeah. My Peter tried to go as Peter Baelish one time for Halloween.
How?
It didn't really work.
I mean, yeah.
It was a purple cloth that got wrapped around him.
Ooh. Next year we should go as the Night's Watch.
Don't make any more like group costumes with this man. Okay, that's my word of advice. It's not covered.
College.
College, guys.
My college journey was a little weird, so mine isn't as chronological.
So was mine.
I did a year as college in North Carolina. Then I did 2 years at community college, and then I did Towson. Graduated from Towson. I already said it. I was going to say local university, but I mean, I already said it. It's a big enough school anyway. So, my first year in North Carolina was crazy. That's when the Purple Man story happened.
Are you going to fill me in later?
I feel like I should say because that was on the file that got corrupted. So.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking like you talked about it on an episode that got okay. Yeah.
No, that was the one with Ryan and yeah. So our school was purple. Purple and white were the main colors, and this was like right at the start of when morph suits were like a thing, like Green Man and like right. So I decided to get Purple Man because our school was purple, and I wore it out on occasion. I wore it out to Halloween and stuff like this. And then one day I was wearing it. I wore athletic shorts underneath, but I couldn't fit like a t-shirt or anything else. So wearing athletic shorts, and then I put the suit on, and we were walking to the baseball field for a baseball game on a Saturday afternoon. There's a part of the baseball field where the way you enter from campus, you go to the outfield first, and then there's this open patio where like all the drunk kids go. Right, and then there are like bleachers behind home plate, but so that's where you had to walk through to get to wherever you're going. I was wearing this Purple Man costume. We walk in, and this drunk girl goes, "Oh my God, he's hung like a horse!" And I just turned around and nodded solemnly, and then went on my way.
That's so funny. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say she like vomited on you or something.
I think that would have been better.
I got vomited on at Moonrise. It was the worst experience of my life. I wanted to cry, but I didn't cry. My friend just poured a bottle of water at me, and I was like, I guess that's all too. Like, I'm gonna have to go home and live in the shower, burn my skin off, regrow it.
There was a guy at that college. His name was Mike, and apparently he was my identical twin, but I've never met him. The running joke was that like if we met, then the world would have exploded. It was like there was never an occasion where we were in the same place together. People confused me for him all the time.
So,
they confused him for me all the time.
Were you really just being both people and trying to confuse everyone? Is my question.
Well,
that does seem like something you would do too. So like that's actually a pretty valid question.
Okay, so there's a story.
Story time?
Where you have done that.
I did. That wasn't my plan, but I'll tell the story and you see where it goes. This is the story of Grilled Cheese Girl.
Grilled Cheese Girl. Like the name. Oh, hey, look, another missed call.
Oh,
phone tag day.
So, I think I told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again anyway, because I don't think you two know this story. I don't even think I told you this story. Ever.
Well, I'm excited.
You don't know about Grilled Cheese Girl?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't ring a bell.
This is my first, like, true college, like, story to tell. This happened, my first year in college. It was our second weekend. We had a band come. I forget the name of the band, but it was like a concert night. It was like the second weekend they came, and a lot of people got drunk at the concert stuff. But me and my friends stayed back because it was like we didn't really care about them. We were just like, we'd rather not go. We just meet up with people afterwards. So we left our dorm, and it was me and him, and we started talking to some of our friends who were hanging outside. We were talking, and this tiny blonde girl, drunk out of her mind, bumps into me. Right? I'm like, oh, drunk people run into me. That happens like all the time. Like that's what drunk people do. They bump into things. Except she latched onto my arm and started to pull me with her, and I'm like, okay. So I continued with her because I was like, I don't know what's going on right now. I kind of want to
see where it goes.
Yeah, see where it goes.
Sure.
And she was really drunk and very tall. I was like, I don't know who this girl is. Like, I've only been at school it's our second weekend. I've been there like a week and a half, and I don't know what's happening. And And I think maybe she knows me from class or something like that. So we're talking for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, like, I should probably ask where we're going, because I have no idea where we're going. And she was like, oh, we're going back to my dorm. And I was like, okay. And she was like, we talked about this at dinner. And I was like, did we though? Because I didn't have dinner with you. And she's like, yeah, we had the stir fry. She was like, don't you remember, Mike? And I was like, oh, this is what's happening. So we get to her dorm. She knocks on the door on the first floor, and her friend answers, and she was like, oh, thanks for bringing her back. I didn't know that. I was just like, yeah, you're welcome. This is what I planned to do. Like, I was totally bringing her back this entire time. And she was like, the drunk girl was like, I'll, like, text you, like, later on. Let me tell the story. And I was like, well, I don't have your number. And her friend was like, just give him your number. So I got a number. I went back to my dorm. I was hanging with my friends. Right? And then, like, I told them what happened. I was like, yeah, she just, like, thought I was Mike. Da, da, da. And my friend is like, well, you should probably, like, make sure she's okay, because you don't know who that other girl was. That could have just been a random person. Like, I was like, all right. So I called her, and she was like, I was like, is everything okay? Like, you back to your room and everything? She's like, yeah, I'm in my dorm, and I'm making grilled cheese. You should totally come by. This is at, like, midnight, and I'm just like, I'm not one to turn down grilled cheese. So, well, I brought my two friends with me, because they were like, well, what if she's, like, has roommates who don't know your Mike? Like, and I was like, well, you guys can come with me. We'll, like, just see where I go. Because she was really drunk. Like, surprised she's still walking drunk.
Oh, wait, so you took 3 dudes.
2 dudes.
So it was...
Can I tell that story?
You stop! I was like, no, okay, I'll finish. Go. I'll say it afterwards.
Let me finish. Obscure Archer Vice quote. So, we walk over to the dorm. We sneak in because we had our IDs to scan into the dorm. So we just waited outside and people came out and we just went in. It was that easy to get in. So I found her dorm and I knocked. As soon as I knocked, my 2 other friends ran away. They were like, nope, we're leaving you. And I was like, thanks, guys. Right, so I hear her come to the door and she looks in the people and she's like, oh, it's Mike. I'm like, yeah, totally. Get in. There's 8 other people in this dorm because it's like an apartment style dorm. So there's like a living room and kitchen and then like 3 actual rooms. So these are 8 people. I'm like, one of these people is going to know I'm not Mike. That's just, the odds are like, are there. So she goes in and she's like, this is Mike. And everyone just like, oh, hi, Mike. Nobody suspects anything.
Oh my gosh.
And so I end up talking to this other drunk girl.
Like what?
Well, it was like the concert and people were drunk and things. And she was from Philly. This is one of my favorite parts of the night. The blonde drunk girl making grilled cheese at the moment. She's actually going through with her promise. And this girl, we start talking to her, and she's like, oh, like, I'm a Flyers fan. I'm like, oh, me too. And she's like, oh, like, did you grow up in the area? I was like, yeah, I grew up, like, right outside Philly. And then drunk girl, like, in the kitchen making grilled cheese was like, oh, he went to high school with this guy. And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, the second girl was like, oh, so you know this guy in high school, was he like a total, like, asshole? And I'm like, oh yeah, totally. And she was like, well, in high school he was cool, like, I knew him back then, like, he's cool now, and all this. I'm just like, I don't know who this person is, so I'm open to these answers. So the night dwindles down a little bit. Alright, everybody I do eat the grilled cheese. She makes the grilled cheese, I eat the grilled cheese. That's the point of the story.
I mean, it's called grilled cheese girl. It has to come in here somewhere.
Yeah, so she makes the grilled cheese, we eat it. Things kind of dwindle down, people go back to their dorms. Original girl was like falling asleep like on the floor in this crowd of people, and I'm just like, at some point I need to like leave because these are a bunch of strangers who all think I'm someone else. So like, this is a weird occasion. So I walk her to her room. She just falls fully dressed into her bed. I end up falling asleep on the couch. I wake up at like 7 in the morning to her going through the kitchen drawers just like crazy, just opening, closing, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I wake up on the couch, and she's like, sorry, I was looking for my phone. And I was like, oh, okay. So I help her look a little bit, and then she finds it. She's checking what happened the night before, all this stuff, and she goes, oh, by the way, Mike, you could probably go back to your place now. And I'm like, so even after you sleep whatever you did off and wake up the next morning, you still think I'm Mike. And then I went back to my dorm, but my roommate had a friend staying, and I ended up at this apartment, and I texted him. I was like, hey, like, he can sleep in my bed if he wants, because I'm at this girl's place. And he was like, cool, but I had to go back at like 7 in the morning. So that kid was in my bed. I slept on the floor. But yeah, spent the entire night, that entire apartment,
Mike.
Thought I was Mike. And on occasion, I would get like throughout campus, oh, hey, Mike, or Mike, like all this stuff. I'm just like, I'm not responding. That's not who I am. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like the first thing that pops into my head is just like 3 dudes showing up at a random girl's apartment. That doesn't scream like.
Yeah, that's why you need to listen to the story.
I know, Tim, but just that alone.
See, when you think it's going somewhere,
No. I knew it wasn't going anywhere like that. It's just like just hearing it. Hearing, oh yeah, I'm gonna get 2 friends to show up at this girl's apartment. Okay, but obviously,
well, I wanted friends in this situation because I didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
And then they left me as soon as I knocked.
As good friends do, yes.
As good friends do, alright.
Yeah, so that was one college.
I must have a lot of great friends.
So, I have a pretty good one. So,
I don't remember any of my college experience.
You don't remember what happened last night?
That's true.
Or yesterday in general.
Or 20 minutes ago.
So, freshman year.
We're doing a podcast right now.
Oh, have I been here the whole time?
Did you dissociate again? God damn it. No, this isn't it. Okay, so freshman year, we go out, we get drunk. This was actually my first time ever blacking out. My friend and I thought it would be a good idea to just rip endless shots of pink lemonade brunettes. I actually enjoyed the taste, but now I did it so much and throw up so much, I can't do it anymore.
Brunettes, though.
It is Bernie's, and Bernie's is not good. So, we end up going out, yada yada, and then like we had like this like resident weird chick on our floor, and like we get back, I'm just sitting in the hallway just talking about God knows what for like 2 hours. And then allegedly, I somehow brought up bestiality, not with me involved, just as a general topic. And then somehow
I don't believe this
So I
story.
fucked a horse once.
And then somehow I ended up like on the roof. And then but like our building, it was like there was an upstairs. It was like 3 floors, I think. Mm-hmm. But this one part you could just hop on and just sit up there and just chill as long as nobody caught you. Yeah, so we had to like scale a door, like just open up a random door, climb on the little handle, and then make our way up. So that's what allegedly I did again, because I don't remember. So if you don't remember, it didn't happen.
Oh, so nothing in my life has ever happened.
when drinking, okay.
Oh man.
And then apparently we were like kind of trapped up there. Oh. like we didn't know how to get down because like we weren't gonna jump because it was like a pretty solid jump and we were wasted, and we couldn't open the door from where we were. So I think I ended up like she said I ended up like crawling the roof to like where her room was, and like knock on the door, like, hey, I'm stuck on the roof. Can you come get me now?
It almost sounds like that episode of New Girl where Nick is scaling the building to run away from Jess. And he's stuck on the side of the building and he's like, I'm gonna die, let me in.
Oh no, yeah. So she like runs to the end of the hall, opens the door, and then like we scale our way back down. And then I see her in the hall like the next morning. I'm like, hey, how's it going? She's like, hey. I'm like, hello, like what's up? She's like, you don't remember last night? I'm like, I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, what happened? I'm like here just horrified. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So that was fun. And like, I climbed that roof many a night. I was on a root climbing phase in my senior year too, but we'll get there. Any freshman year? Any other freshman year stories for you, Suze?
No, my freshman and sophomore years were pretty studious years for me. I mean, honestly, my whole college career was pretty studious because I didn't have a fake ID and
was yours a bar school?
I was 20 years old when I graduated, so I didn't really go out anywhere, ever.
I never got into the fake ID, though.
Me neither.
No, me neither. Yeah.
I never got. People thought it was like a big deal. I was like,
I didn't.
it's not though, because I could just find like at the one college was frat houses. They just let you in.
Oh yeah.
But I know like around here it's like a bar school, so like
Yeah.
I understand why hair fakes are maybe like.
I mean, some
at my
are.
school,
What do you mean a
like,
bar school?
Like some schools are like parties and other schools are like all about the bar scene.
Oh no, my school was just a private
Yeah.
Catholic women's college.
Woo woo.
Fun.
So everybody was about like academics and community and stuff.
Ain't no.
Hey,
Apparently.
oh no.
If it's in the butt, it's still a virgin.
Alright, well I have a college experience from freshman year that has nothing to do with
It
drinking.
doesn't have to be drinking. It's
Oh,
just
alright,
Crazy
so
professors, crazy
when I
classes,
first started,
roommate stuff.
This girl that I was in class with, so I started off as a psych major. And then I got really bored really fast because I knew everything that was in that first class, and I was like, why are you making me retake this class?
Humble brag.
But
Right.
whatever. So this girl that was in my class, I met her during orientation. And, you know, we were talking, me, her, and like this other girl, and we became friends. And she had mentioned that she was a lesbian, and I was like, whatever, like, I don't care, I don't know why you mentioned that, like, it has no bearing on
Yeah.
anything to me, but alright.
Cool.
Then, like, a few weeks later, she, like, was starting to hit on me, like, more and more, to the point where, like, then she, like, was just very direct about it, and, like, made a comment, like, are you trying to experiment? And I was like, not right now, like, I'm
Left the door
good.
open.
Like, I'm good. And then she started being really mean to me after that. And I would come to school and she would call me ugly every day.
Is this middle school? Jesus.
No, it was college, but she acted like it was middle school.
Somebody
Like,
else,
fuck.
terrible.
Yeah, well, women are really mean to each other.
Everybody else.
Oh, that's true, everybody. Maybe it's just me. But it was weird for me, like, I was drinking when I was in high school. Then I went to college, and I was like, I don't know what, like, I just don't know, like, who do I become friends with that's interested in this? Because the school I went to, everybody was so serious about, like, studying, and I was like, well, guess I gotta be serious about studying too, like.
I have another freshman story. So it was like these two girls on our floor who like everybody was obsessed with. Like
Another college story I have about that.
like these girls were gorgeous, right? I was 18. I had no self-confidence. I had no idea how to talk to women at all.
Do you know?
Huh?
Oh,
burn.
Do you want some aloe for that burn?
Anyways.
Sorry, I can't hear you. My swag is too
And
loud.
like whenever don't steal my line. That's my line. Whose line is it anyway? Mine. That's the answer. And like whenever I'm drunk, I get more confident. So back as always, yeah. So like I was wasting.
Tim's like, I know this from experience.
yeah, like, that's just common fact.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what, fuck it. So like we just happened to like get in at the same time, and and so we were just like sitting in the hall, like me and one of the hackers, we were just sitting there talking for like an hour, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to bed now. And then she's like, okay, cool, see ya. And it was cool. And my friend was like being super weird and like kept peeking their head out the room, like just watching us. I'm like, the fuck are y'all doing? And then still me, my wasted state. I was like, guys, I talked to her. But apparently I was like really loud. And she was like, I can hear you. I instantly wanted to die.
Yeah.
That's probably the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me in recent memory. But yeah.
I don't know.
Like, it would have been cool if I just didn't say that.
Yeah. Gotta play it off.
I feel like you would still do something like that, though. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
No, like, I just don't care anymore.
Anyways, I had a situation. This was a very college-y situation, like college MacGyver engineering, college engineering.
Okay.
So, to preface this situation. So I had a roommate assigned because college, and I got there first. I got to the dorm first. And we were setting up with my parents, and our dorm was on the top floor. It was on the 4th floor of 4 floors, and there was a lighting fixture on the roof that cut into the room. So there was like an angle on the room instead of a full room, kind of angled down. This happened, and I think there was like 2 other rooms like this. Wasn't that big of a deal. Like, you just kind of had to have your room set up a certain way for everything to fit. So he walks in with his family, and his sister was a junior at the college, and she goes, "Oh no, this isn't gonna work," and walks out. And we start talking, our families are talking, we're setting everything up. She comes back like 2 hours later, be like, "I talked to the people down in front, there's someone that's by themselves, and you can move into that room." And I was like, okay.
She said it to you?
No, to her brother who was moving in, yeah. I was like, so is he just moving out and I don't have a roommate now? Like, how is that going to work? So I didn't have a roommate for like 2 weeks. Got a call from the office person. It was like, hey, like, are you interested in having a roommate? And I was like, fine, yeah, whatever. He was a typical frat bro. We got along great. Like, we lived together fine, but just totally different lives that we led. But he had a lot of stuff that he shared with his roommate and a lot of stuff I had. So we both had TVs, we both had fridges, like all this stuff. So we had bunk beds set up because the room, you kind of had to have bunk beds. So I had my TV attached to the cable. He had his TV on his dresser across. So I would sit on the top bunk, which was mine, and watch TV. And he would sit on his bunk and play like Call of Duty with his frat bros, like on across the way. So there was no interference of this. And then one day he normally had like 2 or 3 guys over like all the time because they all lived in the building or nearby. He was like the leader of the Russian group, kind of like he was like the top guy, kind of the alpha of the bros. So we lived across from the community lounge, which had nice leather seating. This college was a country club. And so we took one of the couches and set it up. No, not one of the chairs, but it was still a really big leather chair, and set it up next to the bed, so we had an extra spot for people to sit and play or watch TV. And I also used it to get in and out of bed every day. I would just like hop on and then hop into my bed instead of using the ladder to get up. And then it was like Easter, I think it was, and they were doing room checks for everybody who was moving out for Easter. And the one I wasn't moving out because it was only the weekend and he didn't have to, but my roommate did. And so he was coming by and the RA was like, "So I noticed there's a leather chair in your dorm." And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "It's almost the end of the year, so I'm not going to rate you up, but that's supposed to be in the community lounge?" I'm like, "Yeah." "We've gone all year doing this?" He's like, "Well, just return it before you move out at the end of the year. Like, I don't really care. Just, like, don't take it with you."
Don't steal it, yeah.
Yeah, so at the end of the year, we just, like, cleared everything out. I ended up leaving, like, the day before he did, and I was just like, "So should I move this out now so you don't forget about this?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, you should probably just take that out now." As you could. But, yeah, so our place was, like, the place to come to play, like, video games and, but, yeah. He had his friends. I had some friends on the first floor who would come up, and we just had to set up stealing college furniture.
That's pretty sweet.
I didn't live on campus. That's my campus living story.
Yeah, that's what we did.
But I used to hang out with my friends who did live on campus.
Yeah.
That was fun. I heard all the horror stories of having bad roommates. I was like, I'm glad that I didn't live here.
I knew my roommate from high school, so.
Wow.
Drew.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes
There are
living
like
together
ups
makes
and
things
downs
worse.
to it, right? You know?
Yeah. I never lived with someone I lived with Robbie, but that was after we knew each other for like 3 years. And I was the only one from my high school to go to that college, so.
Like, I had known him for like 4 years, so.
Yeah, so you kind of know.
Well, I have a great story, so.
You're taking too long.
This is great for a podcast.
I had-
Chewing ice.
I had like a terrible Sorry, go ahead.
No, you already started. You cut me off, so go ahead.
I didn't cut you off.
Go ahead,
You literally
go ahead.
weren't talking.
Go ahead.
Fuck you. You shouldn't have said I have a great story and
Go
then
ahead.
started chewing.
Go ahead.
Who the fuck does that?
Go ahead.
Anyways. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I had a terrible professor. And he I'm pretty sure he didn't actually know what he was teaching us. But it was my psychology professor. And that's kind of why I was like, all right, I'm trying to switch out of this. He literally just every day, like every class, it was just like, he treated the class like it was a joke. I'm like, we're literally paying thousands of dollars for
Yeah.
you to teach us things. And you're acting like this is a joke. I can't. But it was, for the first few weeks, I was like, this is cool. And then it was like, all right, I'm tired of this. Like, teach me something. And then he told me that I was going to have a heart attack if I don't learn to relax. Because we took this personality, whatever, and he's like, you have a type A personality based on this. I'm like, no, I don't.
You are not type A at all.
I don't know, that's what he said.
You're very
I was
type
like, no, I'm not.
You're very type
He's
A.
like, well, you seem very anxious and, like, you get stressed out a lot. I'm like, only when it comes to, like, school. Because I want to do well. But everything else, I don't care. My life is a joke right now. Yeah. So he was terrible. And then I was taking stat during the same time. And everybody thought the stat professor was terrible. And I was like, man, I'm learning so much. And I got an A in that class. So then I switched to being a math major.
Nerd.
I'm not a nerd, though.
You were a math major. That screams nerd.
That doesn't mean I was good at it. So that doesn't mean I was a nerd.
What was your GPA?
I prefer not to support your statement.
No. Because I know what it is. So, like, what's your GPA?
If you know what it is, then say it.
I just want to make sure you're honest with it.
3.7.
Oh, okay. 3.76. So 3.8 in math. Nerd.
You don't round GPAs.
A job application
3.76.
yesterday asked me to round it, and I was like, actually, it did it automatically, and I was like,
No, that's not.
Why
that's
did
not
you-
You can't round.
I was like,
that's the
why
rule of
did you
GPA.
round me up?
You don't.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my great story. It was freshman year.
Oh, so I had a story from.
In
Oh,
college,
so Tim.
in college, it's not uncommon to eat by yourself because everybody has different schedules and
I
whatnot.
used to hate eating, like, in the cafeteria.
Just hate eating.
No, I love eating. I
Yeah.
used to hate eating in
So,
the
like,
cafeteria. It's so awful.
Second semester, it was only like 2 days a week where I could like eat with any of my friends, which I was fine with.
Did
so
you have friends?
So I would just go and just
Wow.
eat by myself with not my headphones, maybe do some work, and then I'll leave.
Of course.
So this girl, I'm sitting outside of a student center one day doing some homework before class.
Nerd.
As one
Yeah,
student.
nerd.
No. I was doing the homework for that class that I had in 10 minutes. That's
I
not
used to
nerd
do that,
status.
though, all the time.
That is
So
cool. I didn't interrupt
not a
you.
nerd.
I didn't interrupt
Oh,
you.
you're
You
true.
didn't interrupt my story.
I'm sorry.
Ma'am.
I was adding to it.
So I'm sitting
'Cause I was
there,
there.
just doing my work. And then I just see a piece of paper fly into my lap. And you know how college you pass out stuff, so I was just okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And I went about my studying. And then I finally look at it. And it's a phone number. And it's text me sometime. And I'm like, what in the ass just happened? So this girl just didn't say anything to me.
Yeah.
Just threw her number at me and then walked away. And then I'm like, yo, this is the weirdest thing ever. I told all my friends. I went on a Twitter rant about it. And then...
You texted her?
I guess no. Then she followed me on Twitter.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, oh, this is awkward. Because I just went on her rant. Now, that's already kind of weird. Here's where it's even weirder. How does she know my name?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, my assumption, because, like, she was also an RA in like, the complex.
So she, like, looked you up?
Either she, like, asked my RA, like, hey, who's this tall black kid? Do you know him? Or she, like, searched me somehow and found me. And then followed me. And then she DM'd me. And I was like, hey, did you get my note? I'm like, yes. And she was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I mean, I'm just not really looking to, have a girlfriend. Also, did not find it attractive at all. And she was like, why would you even assume that? Oh, wait, let me see if I still have it, actually. Well, she was like,
why would you assume I want to date you?
Yeah, like, why would you assume that? Like, it's just that I would see you eating from time to time alone, and if you wanted a friend, I'm like...
If you wanted a friend. See, I'm not the only one that thinks you have no friend.
Like, this is college, so, like, it's not uncommon to eat alone.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like... And I wasn't even eating. I was doing work.
Homework. I used to do that also in the cafeteria. I think that's just a thing that you do.
It
you
really
go
is.
to, like, the cafe area.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't...
Take up a whole table and just...
Right. I don't have any more.
Study, right?
But that's fine. It doesn't matter. So, yeah. And then... do you have a Twitter, or have you ever had a Twitter?
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, that whole, like, form spring thing? You could just, like, ask somebody a random question?
I think so, yeah.
Right, so somebody asked her, like, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her? And this was, like, 2 years later. She was like, yeah, it's, like, it was super embarrassing, but I saw this dude sitting there. I was really cute. I just, like, threw my phone number at him and then, like, lied about the whole thing when he asked me about it. And I'm like, I fucking knew it. 2 years later, I knew what was happening. Like, I'm not dumb.
Debatable.
So that was kind of funny. So that was funny.
It was. That was a great story.
I had a stats teacher at community college. I was thinking that when you said stats teacher.
Okay.
She didn't know the difference between a line graph and a scatter plot.
She was teaching stat?
Yep.
She's dumb.
Because she literally said, she was like, make a line graph. And I was like, okay, here's the line graph. And then she was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And I was like, what are you looking for? She's like, I'm looking for the scatter before you make the lines. I was like, so a scatter plot.
A scatter plot,
and she's
not
like,
a line graph.
Yeah, she's like, no, not the scatter plot, just the line graph. I'm like,
but this is what I gave you.
I was like, what do you want me to do?
Oh my gosh.
I did, because we had to do our own project about stats. We had to think of a question and then find stats. So I did if gentlemen actually prefer blondes. So I went around campus, I asked 50 people, 50 guys. I was like, if you like blondes, brunettes, or redheads, and found the stats, and then we had to make it out. And she's like, well,
that's pretty cool.
I thought it was cool, but then I didn't know what to do. And because she was like, I was like,
it was like a basic stat class?
Yeah, it was like 101 or so, whatever the number was. It was my second semester.
That's
So
cool.
it was like, yeah. But I was like, what? She was like, no, I want the scatter points. I don't want the lines. I was like,
so that's not what
yeah,
we're
like that's
asking
not
for.
a line. That like line graph has lines, and the scatter plot is scattered, and you just see the dots. And she's like, well, that's what I want, not the lines. I was like,
Didn't say that.
She's a dum dum.
Yep.
So for like my whole college career after I switched to being a math major, my school was small, and the math department was basically non-existent because who the fuck studies, who's going to put themselves through that torture? Me. So there were 3 math professors and a physics professor and one computer science professor. So there were, how many did I just say? 5 professors.
And you were math major.
No, I forgot what I was saying. So there were 5 professors that were like combined as one department, and it was literally called the Math, Physics, and Computer Science department because the department was so small. So, you would have the same professors over and over again. So there's this one professor that I had the whole 4 years. like multiple times in a semester. And she was, I mean, she meant well, but she was terrible. Like, terrible. She would teach you as if you already had experience and, like, knowledge of these things. And when people would raise their hand and ask a question, she's like, if you guys don't understand this, you should probably drop out of being a math major and switch your major. Like, well, no, how about you just fucking learn to do your job and teach us instead of acting like we've already been to college for this. Like,
that's like one of the first things I was taught as an education major is like, if your students aren't doing well, look back and see what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
She's like, that's like the first thing a teacher should do.
Like, literally, the worst class we had with her was probability. Everybody would get like C's or D's on the exams.
What would you get?
A B. Usually a B. But it was like impossible to get higher than that. And she would be like, well, it's your guys' fault. You're not studying hard enough. And we're like...
That's just inaccurate.
I'm like, I literally come to you every single day to ask you to explain these things and, like, go over it. And you're just like, I think you just need to reflect on it yourself. Oh, she was the worst. Yeah, she definitely did not think anything was her fault. She's not there anymore, though, so...
That's good. Ooh, I had a professor who died.
What?
During the semester?
No.
A professor?
It was freshman year. She was my...
That's so sad.
She was my chem teacher. It was like a month in, and she like died. So the other chem professor of that class took over, and he was so much harder. But so that's not a funny or fun story, but it's just weird. It's crazy that like I had a professor who like died.
I had a professor that got really sick, but she didn't die, thank God.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I'm actually still friends with her. I used to go to dinner with her also. I'm just, as you guys can tell. No, as you can tell, I just became friends with my professors.
Yeah, teacher's pet.
That's
literally what that is. Am I incorrect here, Tim? Is that not like the definition of a teacher's pet?
Yeah. Kinda is.
Just not gonna talk anymore. Like, I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm being attacked in this podcast.
If you're a teacher's pet, then own it.
Change the topic of this podcast from college to attack Suzie. Dory.
Really, it's your fault that you're being attacked.
Title of the episode. I had a professor, bio teacher, my first year at Towson, so technically junior year.
At a local college.
Darwin said.
Just kidding.
Bleep all this out.
Bleep all of it. Here, I'll do it for you. Beep.
He didn't say it.
I mean, at Greendale Community College.
Oh my God, I love that show.
Finally found the show she watches.
He doesn't know what it is. I finally know something he doesn't.
No. What's it from?
Community.
Yeah.
It's from Community.
I don't watch Community.
Hi.
I've never seen an episode of Community.
The guy that's a rapper was in it.
Yeah,
Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, there we go.
Who in the show broke his shoulder doing a kickstand.
Did he?
Lovely.
In the show, yeah.
I never broke my shoulder doing
like
that
his character.
Really?
That's why he went to community college. He got a scholarship and then hit his shoulder.
Oh, that's right.
Doing
I
a
remember that.
kickstand.
Oh, that show was so great and random. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, it was she brought on because the original professor had like a family thing and couldn't teach the time anymore for the. She could teach the lab on the afternoons, but my class was from it was like 5:30 to 6:45 or something. I think that was it. And she couldn't do that time. She needed to be home at that time. And like, I don't know what happened. She just said, "Oh, by the way, this person will be teaching your lecture now. I'll be teaching the lab only." And I was like, "Okay." She came in. First thing she said was, "I don't actually teach any classes here. I'm only here on research." And I was like, "Great." She literally read the PowerPoints.
Oh, those teachers are the worst.
And she read it like fast too, because she's like, "We have so much material to cover in such a short amount of time." I was like, 16 weeks. It's not a short amount of time. Like, we can be okay. Right? She did that. Then when we would ask, we'd be like, can you like stop and can we take notes for a little bit before we move on? She's like, well, I'm gonna put the notes online and you can check online later. And I'm like, or you can stop now when 75% of the class is asking you to pause for 2 extra minutes. Like,
I would hate that.
yeah, it was an hour and 15-minute class. She only gave us an hour for test, and then she would start the next chapter in those next 15 minutes, which ended up only being 10 minutes by the time you did all the testing. It was like a 75-minute lecture. Yeah. So it was that. It was, what else did she do? So the tests were made up of multiple choice, short answer, and an essay. Okay. And we had to do all of that within the hour 15. And most of us complained. We were like, hey, we can't get the essay done in time because of the time constraint. And she's like, well, you just need to practice more. And I was like, no, or you could just make it an essay test or short answer multiple choice.
Or split
give
the
us more
test up
time.
into class periods.
Yeah.
Or give you the whole hour 15 minutes.
Yeah, or give that 15 minutes. Like, then...
We just thought of 3 solutions just like that.
Yeah.
She's so dumb.
And then I literally talked to her after classes. It was like a week before the withdrawal date. And I was like, hey, like, I'm struggling. I find you, like, the class is too fast-paced. Like, I was like, I'm struggling the tests are too much pressure and all this stuff. And she's like, so how do you study for the test? I was like, I study any other test. I have my notes that I go over. I have some flashcards, like that. And she's like, are you practicing writing the essay out? And I was like, no. Like, I feel like I shouldn't have to practice an entire essay.
Did you have the essay question?
Yeah, it was on every test. Oh no, we got a study guide like a few classes before. So.
Oh, and it would be the same essay?
Well, you had a choice of 3 essays on the test. It wasn't even just one essay.
I would never even do
so
that.
We had to choose one of the 3 essays we felt most comfortable about.
That's how it was for me in high school.
Yeah. Practice writing the essay.
So,
who says that?
Yeah, so I was like, I'm not practicing writing an essay when I'm studying for everything else. Also, I have 4 other classes I'm taking, like, and she's like...
This is not the only class.
Yeah, and she was like... And it wasn't even like... It was a class for nursing majors. It was like a weed-out class, basically. So, like, the nursing majors who needed, like, the A's or B pluses needed to get through, but me being a phys ed major needed a C to pass, like, and it wouldn't affect me if I was in the education... If I was in my program or not. So I was like, you're making it hard for some people, which is hurting the people who you don't need. And it wasn't just phys ed major, it was like audiology majors as well, and some other people.
What class was it?
It was bio 190.
Oh, I feel like bio teachers always do something.
Yeah. So I was like talking to her, and she goes, some girls come up to me and say they're actually like blistering themselves because they're writing the essays over and over and over again. And I was like, so you're causing physical
I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was like, you know what, I can't. And literally the next day I went in, I was like, I have to withdraw from this class. I was like, I'll take it again with a different professor, but it's like, I was like, I think I had 4 reason to be that semester in every other class I had. And that class I was struggling with. I was like, it's obviously not my work ethic. Like, it's this professor being a bitch. Like, so.
Yeah, my professors used to make the grading. So I guess this is every university, or maybe it's just my fucked up university's policy, but the professors had like a grading scale that they could follow as like a guide. So like to get an A for the overall like policy of the university, it was like 91 to 100. All the math professors made it 94 or 96 to 100 to get an A, and below that, like,
was it an A
was a
plus?
B plus.
It wasn't even an A minus?
No.
Yo, that's dumb.
And I'm like, why is it okay for you to change the grading that much?
Yeah.
Also,
like, I had a 93 point something halfway through the semester, and she's like, well, guess you need to work your way up to that A. I'm like, you suck so much.
Also, why is it 91? I feel like most schools it's like 90.
90, yeah, right? Well,
yeah.
Because my college is already just crazy.
You need
I hope that they
81 to
switched
100,
it.
And then it'd be like 81 to 90.
Oh, okay. See, at mine, it was like 90 to 100.
Well, that's
80 to
normal.
90.
That's normal.
So what happened?
But so my school.
Sorry, 80, 89.
Yeah.
B,
Yeah.
90 to 100 A, 70, 79 C.
Yeah, so that's normal. But my school just wanted to make their students stress out more.
Just that little more
So that one little percent,
Yeah.
they're like, but all the departments, I'm pretty sure most of the departments, like the science departments, the math department, like the more like techy, whatever, like they curved their grading scales to make them harder.
I didn't like how my
Like,
school,
why do that?
how it wasn't a plus minus system.
Yeah, plus minus.
Mine was just pluses. There was never minuses, and I'm pretty sure
Oh wait, or
they
did
didn't even use the pluses.
or maybe like a couple classes it wasn't, which annoyed me because like I would get like a, let's say an 87, which is a high B, but somebody who got like an 80, like they still get the same grade as me, but I did significantly better, and that pissed me off. But on the other hand, when I got to 80, they got to like 89. I'm like, hey man, we get this together. So yeah. Oh, I had this one professor. He was awesome. He just a sociopath. So I went to school at University of Delaware. He lived in like Manhattan.
University.
Like lived in Manhattan.
What?
And commuted?
He would commute to his
What?
class. Hold on, wait. So his section was 5 o'clock. I can't.
In the morning? No, at night.
No, at night. So he had to leave at like noon to get to class on time.
Yeah.
And one day he came in at like 5:15. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, I'm coming from Manhattan. It's okay if you're 15 minutes late. Like, I already feel bad.
I would have got up and left.
Hold on, if he was a doctor, that means you could have left.
Huh? Oh, the 15-minute rule?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we would do that.
Because like if
I think my first college that was a legit rule, but
My-
most
like
colleges
if,
it's not.
if they're not there at the 15-minute mark, you
college
can
is a
leave,
rule.
and that's what I did.
Oh
Then
yeah.
like 2 times happened. Like one time,
I
I
did
did
too.
not want to be in class because I was super hungover,
Ha.
and I was
Surprise,
like,
surprise.
I was like, just don't show up. And it was a 8 a.m. class, no class,
Yeah.
and it was
Oh, I have stories
8:14.
about that.
I was packing my stuff up. In he comes like, sorry I'm late. I'm like, you goddamn bitch.
Yeah.
I was
Of
so
course
close
you
to
would
leaving.
come in. You probably like
At
were
eight-
counting down the seconds. Like I got 20 seconds left.
And he's like, sorry I'm late, kid. I'm like,
No, you're not. You're not sorry. You waited out there for 14 and a half seconds or 14 and a half minutes
and
on
like,
purpose.
he was such a dick. Like that would not surprise me.
He's probably like giggling to himself, like, ha.
I'll make a big they're about to leave.
And then whoever leaves, I'm gonna count them laps and take away
Oh
that
my
participation.
gosh. I didn't like my school's mascot too much. We were the Fighting Blue Hens.
So you stole his uniform?
And then our mascot name was UD, which was just also the name of our school. So that was dumb.
UD as in like you dick? Like you're no. Okay.
I'm gonna give an attempt to be funny a solid C. Get better material when you come.
A
from that.
silent C, but you talked about it, so it's not silent
I
anymore.
said solid C.
Oh, I thought you said silent.
No.
Well, I guess
There's
you-
no grade called a silent C. Like I'm gonna give you
I
a
know,
solid
that's why I
C.
was like, what are you talking about?
Sports life wasn't that good. Our teams, like one
So
year,
why did you
our
go there?
team made the NCAA March Madness, and we got curb stomped by Michigan State. That was sophomore year. Yeah, like our football team wasn't good. Our women's basketball team was really good. Alana Del Don, shout
Yeah.
out, future
Yeah.
wifey. Even though he's a lesbian, it's fine. I'm gonna breed some athletes though. Like she's 6'6", I'm 6'2". At the very least, our kid's gonna be 6'8". At the shortest. Like, we are going to not have kids, breed athletes. You hear me?
Kid comes out being like 5'3".
I would be livid.
He would like try and stretch
Oh my
the child.
I put ankle weights for him at all times.
Do like
Stretch.
that girl from Willy Wonka, Violet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a stretch him out.
So when I lived in Ireland for a semester,
Just dropping that.
I actually went out and drank like a normal college kid. The only semester that I got less than A's or B's. Yeah, because I was drunk all the time. Not all the time. but a
Wow,
lot
you
of the
drank
time.
in college. You're so cool.
No. I didn't, except for that one semester. Did you not, catch that whole thing? Yeah, and I also used to go to class at 8 a.m. hungover.
It wasn't fun.
But Irish people don't like to talk to foreigners. So I had no friends.
Oh.
And it was the worst. Well, I had, other American friends, but they weren't in my classes because none of them studied math. So I would go out and, drink with them, and then I'd go to class the next day, really hungover, and, forget to take notes. And I'm like, man, I don't even have friends to get these notes from. So sometimes I'd, turn to, a random person and be like, yo, I'm really hungover, and I didn't take notes. Can I borrow yours? And they'd be like, oh, we didn't take notes either. So what did you do?
They're probably the same boat as you.
They probably were. It's probably because I used to sit in the back. If I sat in the front, I would have had, the kids that actually paid attention.
The nerds.
The nerds, yeah, but I didn't.
Nerds.
But then one time I asked, the right person at the right time, and it was, a group of friends sitting in a line, and literally, this kid asked every one of his friends, hey, who's taking the notes? They had a fucking system!
No, yeah, that's the way to do it.
I was like, I need to be part of this friend group. How do I wiggle my way into this? Y'all have a system, one person takes notes for one class, the next, I needed to be part of that. No, in my home college, we all just, it was every man for themselves. Every man for themselves. You take your own damn notes.
Every woman if you're at an all-women's
Every
college.
woman. Yeah, every woman.
And a lot of my classes, we had these, eye clickers, so, that's how you participate. And
oh, wait, what?
So, in, a big lecture of, 300 people, it's, a eye clicker, so she'll put up a presentation, you registered at the beginning of the semester, and you just click your answer.
That's so cool.
So, the smart thing to do is, find friends, and whenever one of you weren't there, you just give me an eye clicker so you don't miss your participation points. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It would just suck to, if you had no friends in that class and you missed it, you lost your participation. But it was, 10%.
That's what I took a tour of NC State, and that's what the tour guide said, and he was like...
Eye clickers?
Yeah, or they did, they sort their ID in the beginning.
Ooh.
So it took attendance, and they saw, you saw you're in class.
Yeah, and those your attendance.
He said, giving the tour, he was like, there have been times I just gave my friends my ID, and they just swiped me.
Yeah,
my college was too small for that, so literally, in a class of 10 people, they notice if you're not there.
My smallest class was, 30, 35.
They notice if you walk in 2 minutes late, and they're like, you're disrupting the first 2 minutes of this class. And, of course, I'd be the one that would sit all the way in the front, so they're like, really?
It's I expected more from you.
But I used to come early so that wouldn't happen because I didn't want to be embarrassed.
This didn't happen to me, but freshman year, my roommate had kind of a rough go of it. So he got caught with his fake ID at a liquor store. And he overthought it when it was just a small fine that he could have paid, but he's like, no, I gotta get my dad involved and call a lawyer. And so he told his parents and ratted himself out, but it was literally fine. And then the second thing, he had to go before student conduct because he was we were basically having an apartment and a party in his dorm room while our RA was away. And then I guess other RAs were patrolling and knocked, and we were no, we're just being wild, we're not drinking. And she was like, you guys are lying. What's your name? Who lived there? His roommate told him his name, but then he was Dan Smith. Instead of his he just lied and made up his last name, and then obviously she's gonna find out since it's your room. And then you had to go before student conduct for that and do a whole thing for it. It was so funny.
Your friend doesn't sound the smartest.
He's this mechanical engineer. He's a Mankey. He's smart.
Oh, okay.
And then sophomore year when I got arrested for weed, so that was fun.
I'm interested.
I mean, so
I haven't been arrested.
I've been talked to by police when
I've been taken home by the police, but I've never been arrested.
Okay, it was technically an arrest, but I wasn't handcuffed. They were just just go back. I was awesome, thank you. I needed a lawyer for that one. Had to go to a drug class in Wilmington, Delaware, which is our Baltimore, very shitty, very bad area.
What do you mean our Baltimore?
Our city.
We're at an undisclosed location.
At our undisclosed
at
city.
Our local city, because that's every city in America.
And These people had like actual problems, like actually addicted to coke and stuff. I'm like, I'm a college kid who was smoking weed. Like, why am I here with these people?
Yeah.
But I did my 8P test, my 8 classes, and it's off my record. So, ladies, kind of a badass. I've been arrested. So I don't know.
Kind of not. Speaking.
Nobody. It was technically an arrest.
Speaking as somebody that knows him,
Got
not
arrested
at
for
all
doing
badass.
something that's now legal.
That's still part that reason, y'all. If it happened like 3 years later, I'd been fine. Like, I'd have gotten a small fine, and that's it.
So, when I was in Ireland,
You're in Ireland?
What? When?
The
Got her.
the room that I was living in was like considered like the graduate dorms because they were supposed to be like given to graduates because they were the fancy like whatever. They were fancier than all the other dorms and like more spacious and stuff. So I was lucky enough to be randomly assigned to that dorm, which was fucking great. And the side of the door, like the side of the campus that my dorm was on, like we had this giant like glass window area that spanned like 2 of the 4 walls. And we could see the college bar and like the whole like social area. So it was great. You could look out the window and be like, oh, nothing's happening. I'm going to stay home. And then like we weren't supposed to have parties. So I was there maybe 2 weeks or so, and my roommates decided to throw a party. And we're like, all right, like, I'm down. I invited the Americans that I befriended, and we all were playing beer pong and whatever, normal stuff. Some other random stuff happened with me and my roommates, and then the campus security, wow, I can't talk today. Wherever. Campus security came and was like kicking everybody out, and then I was freaking out the next day because my roommates were lying so hard to me, and they're like, yeah, they are probably gonna kick us all out of school because we're not allowed to have parties. And I was like, I mean, I know we're not, but also they were stupid because like we had a lot of windows in the room that we were throwing the party. Why wouldn't you just close the curtains? And I kept trying to get them to close the curtains, and they're like, no, it's going to be fine. But they were scaring me. They're like, yeah, we're all going to get kicked out and also fined 5,000 euro each. And I was like, this is a joke, right? And they're like, no, like, this is what happens. And I'm like, wait, but I can't get kicked out of school. Like, and I don't have 5,000 euro. What do you mean? I was like freaking out so hard. And then we went to like the meeting. I literally didn't have to say anything. They were like, we assume that you 3 Irish people are the ones that were like the main culprits of throwing the party. But evidently like she's your roommate and she was there. So we're going to just fine you all 50 euro. And we left and I was like, I hate you guys so much. I've been terrified for like a week straight. It was the worst thing ever. And I like called my mom and I was like, I think I'm going to get kicked out of school and have to come home and pay 5,000 euro that I don't have. And she's like, what did you do to get yourself in that much trouble? It's been 2 weeks. Oh, she's like, I knew I should have let you go. Yeah, and I like told her and she's like, I mean, really? All that because you threw a party? I was like, that's what they told me. She's like, are you sure that's accurate? Yeah, but Michael was self-believed him.
Junior year, I was like kind of sort of dating / hooking up that that random weird college thing with a person. Turned out my professor's daughter.
Oh shit!
Noise.
Because like I don't even know how it came up, but she was like, "Oh yeah, that's my mom." I'm like, "That's your what?" And I'm like, "No." And she was like, "But don't worry, I won't say anything."
She said something.
Literally the next day in class, she was like, Antonio, come see me after class. I'm like, oh no. She's like, so, how you know my kid? I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, like my daughter says that you work with her. I'm like, oh yeah, we work at the YMCA over there, which was true. So so I knew her through work, not through school. So I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, that's all. I'm like, whoo! If only you knew.
Oh God.
And then my senior year, I worked with this guy. He wanted to bang me.
But
But
in there.
Have them we all.
So I worked at our campus gym, as he did too, and we had like a bar crawl at the end of the year because that's what we did.
And you tried to roofie you?
No. This is somehow worse.
Oh my god, what? What is worse?
And so we're all like talking, like me, him, and this other dude, and then we're all like pretty drunk. It's a bar call, and the other dude like thinks that the one who wants to bang me, that we'll call him Jim. So Bob thought that Jim was like said something like really racist and rude to me. So he straight up like smacked him in the face.
God.
And
you had two gay guys fighting over you.
Bob wasn't gay.
Oh, never mind.
And he's like sat there stunned, like what just happened? Like,
I think I should tell the story. I make it more interesting.
And then I was like, what happened? Like he said that. I'm like, he did the same thing. He's like, oh shit, I'm sorry. So then I guess because I stuck up for him, he thought something was going to happen. He kind of like clung to me the rest of the night. Like even after the bar crawl was over and like I was like out with my other friends,
he followed you there.
He was there. I'm just like, this is weird.
Like go
and
with
then
someone else.
I like hit up my best friend Kelsey. Love that girl. And I was like, hey, so I'm gonna come to your apartment because I'm thinking I'm being followed by this dude right now. So just play along. She's like, okay, like weirdo. And like I think she thought I was kidding. So I'm like leaving the bar, and I think he wanted me to like walk him home, cause like he just kept following me like, yeah. So I'm just heading to my friend's place. Like, okay, yeah, like cool, like we'll stop being friends and go home. I'm like, no, I'm just going to my friend's place.
Yeah, I'm going to my friend's place.
So then it's like 2 a.m. Like Kelsey, he's like, oh, he was here. So I'm like, yes, like let me in now. And he just waited on the porch for legit like 30 minutes.
I thought you were gonna say he followed you in, and I was gonna be like, "Whoa!"
At one point,
what?
At one point, he like knocked on the door, but we just acted like we were sleeping. Like I went, I'm like, okay, but he's like, all right, I'll just wait for you here. I'm like, dude, I'm not coming home with you. Like I'm not walking home. I'm not playing any of this.
Oh my gosh.
So I just like go in, we turn off the lights, and we're just sitting there in silence. Like, please go away. And then eventually he like walked away. But he like tried knocking like Antonio. I'm like, no, like what are you not getting?
Crazy.
Wow. So that was fun.
I had a situation. Well, two situations came to mind. Then we might have to get into questions because one situation was we got in trouble because we had a mini party in the dorm, and we just hired it was we had 8 RAs in my building, and I knew like 6 of them like really well, and the other 2, one just didn't do her job. She just didn't exist. Like she was never on duty. She was never walking the halls or anything. I was just like, why are you here? Like how are you still? And then it was the other guy, and he was like the super strict guy. Like would write you out for literally anything. So he was on patrol and got us, and he wrote us all up, and it was like, oh, you guys are all gonna be in trouble. You all are gonna do this, and you're gonna have to do that. All right, so we have a meeting the next week with the RLC, so the guy in charge of RAs, and we just hired him like 2 weeks ago. Like the school just hired him. So we get in, we're all sitting. It's me and a few of the girls that were there, and we're just like sitting. And he just goes, "So I'm new," and I'm like, "Yeah, like I've met you a few times," and he's like, so I don't really know what the policy about this is yet, because 2 of us were 21 and the rest of us like weren't. And he's like, some of you were and some of you weren't, and like it's legal if you're 21 to have it on campus, like have alcohol. But some of you weren't 21, but I don't know who was drinking and who wasn't. I'm just gonna give you guys a warning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like,
solid move.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I was like,
guy.
yeah, I was like, okay, you should probably do more than that, but
I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah, so.
That was awesome.
Then another situation was...
I'm sorry. This is funny, sorry.
This is a kind of longer story. I'll try to abbreviate a little bit. Basically, my roommate was trying to hook up with a girl who had a boyfriend, and it was like high school sweethearts. Like they've been together since like sophomore year of high school. Right. And here's the kicker: her 2 other friends who came over were single, and he kept hitting on the taken one. I'm like, guy. Like, funny thing is, me and her stayed friends, and he didn't.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of people. It was like 8 of us, and like my roommate and another guy got into trouble because the girls invited. It was originally 3 guys and 3 girls, and then the girls invited a couple other guy friends over, and I was like, whatever, just have a good time, drink a little. Like, don't feel threatened by 2 other guys coming. Like, throws off the ratio, but like whatever. It's a dorm party. Like, it's not. Right? And he was like angry the entire night that this girl wasn't into him and all this stuff. Like, I wonder why she's not into you. Like, so he got kind of like drunk, angry, and got into a fight with the other guy. Like, physical, like fists were thrown, and the one guy got brought to the floor.
Oh, that reminded me of a story.
So it just went. The shit hit the fan real quick, and. So I walked the girls lived in the dorm across from mine, so I walked them back, and on my way back, I was in the lobby, and there's a cop at the desk, and I was like, it's whatever, it's Friday night in college, cops show up on the college campus, and so I show them my ID, and I get in the elevator, cop comes, and he goes, oh, can you hold it real quick? I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, and I hit 4 to go back to my dorm. He's like, oh, I'm going up to 4 too, and I'm like, uh-oh. So... Yeah, the floor was like, the building was an L shape, so there's the short side and the long side.
Mm-hmm.
So you went the opposite way?
Yeah, so he walked out. I let him go first. I was like, oh, you're a cop. You should go first. He went towards my dorm. I went down the short side.
Yes.
I took like a half an hour power nap in the quiet lounge on that side. Right? And then I like waited around a little longer. I just kind of sat down on my phone for like another 20 minutes, and then I walked back, and my roommate was asleep. Everything was cleaned up, and he was asleep. And I was like, avoided the cop. I was like, I was in the same elevator as him. Just went the other way.
That could have been real bad.
Yeah, and it was like 2 a.m. too, so I couldn't even like ask a friend. They were all like asleep or probably drunk too. But like I couldn't even like, I didn't know too many people on that side either, and then I didn't want to bother people I barely knew. Be like, hey, can I stay in your dorm tonight?
I tried to sneak somebody into my dorm in Ireland. It didn't work. And the guy tried to get me in trouble. I was like, if a security guard catches you, do not tell them my name. And he's like on the phone with me, and he's like, oh, a security guard just walked up to me. Yeah, I'm here to see Suzie. Like, I just told you not to tell them who you're here to see. It was so irritating. But I didn't get in trouble, so it's fine.
Why was he not allowed in your dorm?
Oh, because in... the way that the housing was or whatever in Ireland, at least at this college, there weren't RAs. It was just like the dorms were monitored by security guards. So like to enter the building, like the housing building after a certain time, you had to swipe your student card. And if you weren't a resident, you couldn't get in. So even if you went to the college, but you didn't live there, you couldn't come in after a certain time to visit someone.
Wait, but you lived there though, so why couldn't you let him in?
Because the security guard was at the front, checking.
But you said as long as you're a resident, then you're fine.
He wasn't.
Only if you were a resident. He wasn't a resident.
So you just couldn't have guests over after a certain time?
Yes.
That's dumb.
Yeah, because they, I guess, didn't want to promote people drunk sleeping together.
Interesting.
It's funny, it was that I gave tours at house, and then that was a big thing. Parents, we didn't have a curfew. I said you could sign in and out. I was like, we have some security. We have an RA on until midnight, and then we have a campus police from midnight till 6 a.m. So there's always someone at the door to save all this stuff. Parents were like, yes. Parents were like, so like you could have people over, and I was like, yeah, and they're like, oh, okay. And like some parents are like cool with it, but other parents are just like, so like you could have a girl over or a guy over. I'm like, yeah, like we kind of promote that you're young adults now and you can make your own decisions and we don't need to put a curfew on them.
Yeah.
And some parents were like turned off by that.
We didn't even have that. Like you just had like the fob to your building and that's it. Like nobody checking you in, no security. Like they would like roam around campus, but not control the dorm.
Yeah, it was super irritating.
I have one more short story. It's actually really funny, and then I'm done for now. It's short. It's funny.
Any
so,
questions? If we have time.
Senior year, I had to exercise this girl's thirst. Not like you're working out, but like an exorcism. So we were out at the bar, with my friend, just cooling, hanging out. This girl starts chatting me up. I wasn't interested. I politely told her I was not interested for like 10, 15 minutes. Right? And when you're drunk, that's a long time. It's more
It is a long time.
It's like 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm just
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm listening. I'm like, I'm not interested though. She was like, okay, whatever. She just kept going. I'm like, just leave me alone. And so I tried being the nice guy. I really did. I tried. Didn't work out too well. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I just went dick. I took the conversation from my glass, flipped it on her, said the power of Christ compels you.
Oh, you told me
and
that.
I like darted away.
I remember that story.
Like, the power of Christ compels you. And I was like, gone. And she didn't follow me anymore. But like she was like, in those 15 minutes, she was like following me around the bar. Like I tried to get away, and I'm just like, get the picture.
That happened to me in Ireland.
So I had a thirst.
And I
so
tried
basically,
to be
I'm
nice.
a priest who can do exorcisms now, guys.
You're not a priest.
I
And
did exorcism.
that happened to me in Ireland, and I also tried to be nice, and I was like, I'm not interested. And the same thing for like 15 minutes, just kept hitting on me, and he's like, are you trying to politely tell me to fuck off? Because if you are, I would rather you just tell me to fuck off. I'm like, okay, fuck off. And he was like, well, damn, you don't have to be so rude. And then he left, and my friends were like, what did he want? And I was like, he tried to bring his friends into some weird chat up line where he was trying to get me to go drink with them. And she's like, oh, well, it sounds like they were just trying to be friends with us. We should go drink with them. And I was like, I just told him to fuck off. And then she made us go drink with him and his friends. And I was like, well, this is awkward because I just told you to fuck off. So now I have to be your friend. Yeah. That's funny.
So I feel like there could be a sequel to this episode.
I mean, honestly,
There's a
I feel like we could have broken it down like when I was my freshman year, this sophomore, the junior, senior year, or however many years, because
Honestly,
2 hours.
yeah.
yeah.
So
Can you split it up though?
it's tough because you gotta the audio. You gotta find the right place to spot and stop, and then
We'll just have a long episode.
splice. Yeah. I have 2 questions for the people, from the people,
For the people, from the people.
from the people. First one from Anchovio himself is, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food / ranking of food?
Mine, stuffing.
Yeah,
It's
stuffing.
with the gravy. Whew.
So,
Honestly, the turkey overrated.
I think the turkey is a
I don't
good.
Centerpiece.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a good center to
So
not
I
only
agree.
the table but to the meal as well. It's good to have a nice hearty meat with everything else.
You got ham.
yeah, I was gonna say that. So I agree with this.
Are you 5?
Yeah, he is. He's T-Rex. I agree with this statement.
Hard to be a lizard.
So pre-gluten sensitivity,
Gluten sensitivity.
that.
Not gluten free, just sensitive.
Well, I try to be gluten-free. I try to live with gluten.
Until she pounds 3 beers in 10 seconds.
That doesn't happen anymore. I stopped. I stopped doing that.
What?
So pre-gluten sensitivity, I would say my order would be
This is what
pumpkin
we did.
pie.
Mm.
I love pumpkin pie. Or pecan pie. I would prefer
Pecan
both.
pie is garbage. I'm sorry.
He doesn't like pecan. Do you like pecan pie?
No,
He's gonna say no. Alright, you guys suck. So basically, all the pies. Pumpkin, pecan, and apple. I love those pies. They would be at the top. Then would be the stuffing and the gravy, obviously. And then the mashed potatoes. Then the ham. And the
Do you have
turkey.
turkey and ham?
Yeah, we do have turkey.
Can I
What are
have
you?
turkey? I just have the turkey.
Yeah,
Do you
come
guys
to our
have
house.
mac and cheese at yours? I like
Yes.
mine. But like
mac and
actual mac and
cheese.
cheese, like not that craft shit, like
Yeah, like
baked
No.
in the oven, homemade.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's so good. And like, whenever we have Thanksgiving, like at my brother's house, they'll make Brussels sprouts with like a cream sauce, and it's so
I
good.
don't like Brussels sprouts.
And my brother smoked his ham last year, or the year before, I think. It was so good. He did like a honey smoked ham. It was the best thing ever. I loved
Y'all,
it.
I make the best sweet potato pie for Thanksgiving.
I've never had sweet potato pie. I'm gonna have to.
When I
eat
make
it.
them this year, I'll make them with a gluten-free crust.
Gluten-free crust or not, I'm trying it.
So I'll make you guys one this year, and it's so good.
Yes.
Your turn, Tim.
Cranberry sauce.
Oh, the sauce!
I don't even
Okay,
like cranberry
How
sauce.
do you like the cranberry sauce, though?
So we've done it 2 ways. We've done just a canned sauce,
Mm-hmm.
which I still think is good. But there have been a few years where it's been like homemade
It's actual.
with like actual cranberries and so.
Which do you like better?
I kind of prefer the canned.
I prefer the canned
Yeah.
every day of the week. It's
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So that
Like usually homemade's better, but
I've
with the
never
cranberry sauce.
had cranberry sauce.
Have you had Thanksgiving? Like Jesus.
I have, just because I haven't had cranberry sauce. It's not my thing.
Oh, and the green bean casserole.
We have cornbread casserole.
yeah, cornbread.
Love it.
My parents always do sweet potatoes too.
Super with or without marshmallows.
With
Isn't that yams?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, it's really the same thing.
That's
they're-
true, they are pretty much the same.
Basically, sweet potatoes and yams.
Oh yeah, I had that one year. My cousin made it with marshmallows. It was so good.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for Thanksgiving now.
But my mom's family doesn't do yams at all. So like that's only my dad's side. My cousins do it. So
Anybody?
sometimes I do multiple Thanksgivings, and it's the best thing ever.
I mean, it's you hop from food to food.
It's so great.
yeah, that's solid. My parents. The one thing I don't like about Thanksgiving is that my mom always insists we have pie like right after dinner, and I'm like, I need
There's
to
no like
digest.
digestion
Yeah.
period. No.
I need to watch
You
a
need to,
football
like,
game first.
Digest, take a little nap,
Yeah.
play
and
a
then-
game.
Well, it's usually just the 4 of us. My family is very spread out, so it's hard to get us in the same place at the same time.
We do like a big thing where my mom's whole side gets together, and then we usually do a small thing with my dad and my cousins.
So I have 2 questions in mind. Do you guys want to do both of them, or do you just want to do one of them?
I can do two. Works for me.
Okay. Second one, kind of part B to this question. Does your family have any traditions? Holiday traditions or just family tradition?
I mean, everybody would just come over. So like my house, like me, my brother, sister, and my parents, we would like make breakfast and then watch the parade, and then wait for everybody to come over because we had like a pretty solid size house and we just have everybody over at our place. But as of late, we've been.
It could be any, not just Thanksgiving. It could be any.
Oh yeah. So like our house is like the spot. Like for Christmas, we have people over.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, our place. Even like a couple of times, other people's birthdays have been at our house. I'm like, all right.
It's like my aunt and uncle. I feel like their house is like the house that can fit everyone.
Yeah, like
So most events are there. My mom has had it occasionally. Actually, she's had it quite a few times. My other aunt has had it like a few times. But basically, all the holidays, my mom's whole side of the family gets together, and I basically don't see my dad's side of the family because they live in New Jersey. So occasionally,
Not that far away.
no, I know, but I'm not gonna travel.
Oh, soft spot.
But like, I'm not gonna travel there by myself. Plus, I mean, maybe they celebrate now, but they didn't really, as far as I know, didn't really used to do like a whole Thanksgiving thing, or at least they did it differently the one year I was there for Thanksgiving because my dad's family is Egyptian. So I guess they do like an Egyptian twist on Thanksgiving.
I mean, it's also.
So yeah, that's true. But it's just, it's not that it's too far. It's just like 3.5 to 4 hours is far enough
North Jersey.
for me to go by myself. Like,
Oh,
I don't wanna.
you scared?
I'm not scared. I've done
Little
it.
food, you scared?
I've done it. It's just like when you're in a car by yourself for that long, you get tired. I'm not trying to fall asleep on the road. But yeah. So that's basically the tradition in my family is we just all get together. Like somebody picks which holidays they're doing that year, and we all get together there.
Oh, and for Christmas, we have like a themed meal.
Themed meal?
Yeah, so it's not like the basic
Is
stuff.
it not Christmas themed?
No. Okay. So, like,
For Christmas, we basically have Thanksgiving part 2.
See, like, one year we'll have, like, that food, and then one year was, like, Southern. Another year was, like, barbecue. Like,
Yum! I'm going to suggest this to my family. Like, we need to switch it up. We can't just have Thanksgiving part 1 and Thanksgiving part 2. Like, let's switch it up, guys.
Yeah, we basically have a ham instead of the turkey. We have the ham on Christmas, but it's usually the
Holiday
summer
ham.
sides. Yeah.
holiday ham.
My Christmas tradition is, one, my parents have a fake tree. They bought this fake tree when they got married in '86.
You never had a real tree?
No.
We used to get real trees only within the last, I think it started within the last, like, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
This is the
10
first
years, 10
year
years.
that my parents have gotten a fake tree, and it's because all of us are out the house now.
Yeah.
The first year. Oh, wow. You never had that new tree smell?
No.
Well,
Oh,
you could spray it around. A fake,
that's the
a
fakest.
fake tree smell?
No, that's
Tim, we're going to get you a real tree. Okay.
But continue, Tim.
Anyway. So my parents bought it when they bought the house in '86. It was the first Christmas in the new house. It was $100 and had a 10-year warranty. They are still using this tree.
Oh, man, that's cute.
How big?
It's like 10 feet. It goes almost to the ceiling.
Tell me when.
What? Okay, let me start again. But in this, the tree comes in a box, and when I was younger, I would get into the box when everything was out, and I would get my picture in the box.
Every year?
Yeah.
So you still do that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I do.
Can
man.
it fit in the box? Oh, actually,
Barely.
It's 10
Barely.
feet, so
He's like,
Yeah,
barely.
It's a somewhat big box. But then I spent Christmas morning / day at my ex's last year, and then I went to my parents at night, and then they
Got
had
in the box?
They had a small box, so she got in the box that day.
That's hilarious.
I told about that tradition, and I sent it to my parents. And
That's
I was
so
like, we're
cute.
continuing the tradition, even though we're not home yet.
That's so cute.
But, yeah. All right, final question of this supersized episode. What is a subtle way you like to mess with people? For instance,
Oh, me, I untie people's shoes.
What?
Like,
What?
I'll just untie their shoes.
I always like to not explain Peter or Junior, and just refer to him as like someone. A few years ago, I met this girl. Well, we never actually met. It was on Tinder, and we texted for a little while, and then things just never happened. But I texted her.
Those things usually happen on Tinder.
She lived like 20 minutes away, and I was like, oh, me and Junior can like come by. And then she was like, what? And I
What?
was like-
You have a child?
I was like, oh no, Junior's the name of my car. So I like to say that. Same thing with Peter. Peter's a go, because more people know about Peter now. So
Has she met Peter yet?
have you met Peter? Yeah,
Halloween.
Halloween.
I'm so dumb.
He was my wingman.
Yeah.
One-
Literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it.
But you guys were talking about Peter on Tuesday, and I had no idea. I was like, Peter? Do I know Peter? I feel like I
I
met
don't think
Peter.
I ever explained Peter was his name. People
No.
saw I held a penguin.
You called him something else.
Friend of this little girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Feathers McGraw.
And
That was the character.
I don't know how on Tuesday I figured out that that's what it was, because I was so confused, and I kept asking you guys, and you wouldn't tell me anything. And you're like, you met him on Halloween, and I was like, is it a person? And you're like, no. And I was like,
To be
oh,
fair, I
okay.
did say it's my penguin, and then you didn't take me seriously.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
yes.
remember
And
this.
I said he's my penguin, and you were like, "Wait, seriously?" And I was like, "Yeah." And
Oh,
you were
okay,
like,
so
no,
I didn't
you're
just
lying.
figure
You're
it out.
just messing with me. And I was like, "No," and you're like, "You are." And it was a 5-minute back and forth of.
I don't mess with people, so there you have that.
Little loser.
Like not even subtle ways. Like don't like tap them on one shoulder even though you're standing on the other side. Or,
Oh, I do that at work a lot. I'm
Yeah.
like, huh? And they're like, haha, I got you.
Yeah.
Do it to my kids or do it to my
I mean,
coworkers.
I speak in a patronizing voice to... Why did my phone just record us talk? What? This is why technology scares me.
Tim, I think she's trying to podcast within our podcast.
Why is...
Copyright.
No. This is why
Super
technology scares me. I didn't say anything that should have made my phone talk right there. No, what I do is I talk in a patronizing voice to people that
Oh, no.
to people that I'm actually friends with.
I know what you also do.
But that's
Point.
it.
You tell everybody to suck your dick.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that's
I'm really messing with people. That's just being weird.
that's just me being a weirdo.
Oh, okay.
Somebody told me once like that's how they know I'm drunk, and I'm like, no, I literally just say that.
No, but you
I
say
literally just say that.
exponentially more when you
Do I? I don't
Yes.
know.
It's like dick to the fifth power.
I used to, at my previous place of employment, I used to put my fingers in people's pockets because I worked at a restaurant. So like, if they were putting in an order and I had to wait, and like we had 3 of them, so if I had to wait, I just like put my finger in their pocket.
Oh man.
And I did it
that's
to Ryan a
hilarious.
fair amount, and that like
Just
near the end
fingers.
of the night, yeah, just my finger. I didn't like do anything else, just boop. And I did it to Ryan like a lot, and at the final time near the end of the night, he's like, "Would you stop?" And I was like,
Stop fingering his pocket, man.
"Yeah, like stop taking the system."
That's
They do a few people. Some people just like ignore it, and then other people. It was always about the reaction. I didn't really care. I didn't have a reaction in mind. I would just put my finger in, and some people would be like, "Whoa," and then other people were like, "Ooh."
hilarious.
That just be like, "Yep, I just want to see how people react." But that was a fun way.
Good times.
Yep. So yeah. Probably a part 2 of this episode. Maybe
Sounds good.
someday. So it's been me, Anchovio, Suzie, Dory, any other personality that's in there.
Just those 2 today.
No, I saw a bit of Kendrisha.
Who is Kendrisha?
Kendrisha.
Do I have a new personality I didn't know about?
It popped into my head. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so now you're naming our personalities. Got
It's
it.
kind of funny,
Kendrisha.
personally, but
Yeah, it's been 3 of us talking about college and other stuff.
4. Don't miscount Dory.
It's been 2 of us.
No, I'm good.
Just delete everything.
every speaking part shape.
Yeah, that'd be such an odd thing.
It's a joke. It would sound terrible. That's the only reason why. Though.
Oh my gosh! Never coming back here.
That's the idea.
He said it, not me. I run the show.
Alright. See how this is going.
But yeah, so it's been us comments, some college stuff, other things, grievances you have, traditions. What else did we talk about? Subtle ways you mess with people. Do the things, share with your friends and family and people and coworkers, and spread the word of Sqwadcast.
Squad.
Oh,
Is that like an official Sqwadcast noise?
Not at all.
No.
That was the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
think
I
you
think
should
I'm-
make it a thing.
Oh,
You should make it
for
your new
sure.
intro. It's my opinion.
Yeah. Alright. Share, like, I hate saying like, share, and subscribe. YouTube killed that for me. Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget. Just live your life. Just share. That's all I want.
But you're not living unless you're sharing.
Yeah.
Fact. By,
Sharing is caring.
Fact by Anchovio.
And that has
Facts,
been
Victoria.
Facts by Anchovy.
Oh my god. So many new segments.
Alright. Sqwad out.
See, who are you waving to? We don't have an audience yet.
It felt like the right thing to do.
You're not on a TV show and you're like a guest and you're waving.
Bye.
Waving on an audio podcast with no visual yet.
Bye. So I guess I'm not being invited back.
How to the no. This is one and done. I hope you enjoyed your time there,
Wait,
Suze.
really?